think by my 6th month in was when I saw my first murder.
À ce moment-là, j'étais devenu carrément une bombe à retardement. Puis personne ne savait quand est-ce que j'allais exploser.
I used to be a pretty funny guy. Good time. I don't know if I am anymore. It just wears on you.
I knew that I never was going to be able to erase that from my mind. Never.
Okay, guys, tomorrow morning, côté nord-est, on se crypte.
We're walking into the unknown. You never know what you're going to face that day, and you never know what you're walking into until you actually walk in the prison doors.
Morning.
Hey, Jeff.
How are you?
Oh, I'm not too bad.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Good night?
Well, I think we're really starting the flu, so we're a little nervous about that.
Hi, buddy. How are you?
Hey, good. You guys?
Okay.
I had to fill out an incident report on O'Reilly. He's going before the parole board next week.
Hey, boss.
Hey, Mr. Garfield. What's up?
Guy in 6, he's up to something. He's ripping up sheets.
Thank you.
Our role as a correctional officer in society is being able to protect our citizens, being able to protect the inmates inside from other vicious inmates.
I mean, our first, goal is the public safety of Canadians, and that's the #1 mandate that we have. And the second part of our mandate is the rehabilitative process and getting inmates ready for release into the community.
Le métier d'agent correctionnel consiste à protéger les Canadiens et Canadiennes des délinquants.
So nobody really knows what we go through and what we deal with on a day-to-day basis.
When we go behind those walls, we're performing the function of all 3 public safety officer jobs and first responder jobs, which is the paramedic, the firefighter, and the police officer.
Inmates come and go. They're just part of the job. I don't hate them, dislike them. They're just part of the job. When I go to work, my primary goal is to make sure everybody's safe.
So we have an obligation to keep everybody safe inside and secure. We often are required to intervene in assisting an inmate who's been injured, may be attacked by another inmate, and this is where we play that first responder role as a paramedic. We also have to enforce the law inside. I mean, it's our job to keep order and make sure the inmates are doing what they're supposed to do, that they're not breaking any laws while they're within the confines of an institution. And this includes, contraband prevention, drugs, make sure they're not assaulting, they're obeying the rules, they're following their correctional plans.
Les délinquants, il y a une raison pourquoi ils sont emprisonnés. Ils ont fait un crime. C'est de s'assurer que leur cheminement se fasse comme prévu lors de leur emprisonnement.
I think the most difficult aspect of our work is being able to deal with the aspects of the job, the fallout of serious incidences, being able to cope with what we've seen, what we've experienced.
Next time you shut your fucking mouth. Oh.
1F to control.
Control here. What's happening?
I need backup to 1F.
Okay, you got it. Let's go this way.
Lock down! Get back in your cell! Get back in!
Okay, call an ambulance! We're gonna get you out of here. The ambulance is coming in the front. You should probably...
Get back in!
Get the ambulance! Jesus, okay. Okay, stay with me. The ambulance is on his way. Okay, you're not gonna die today. You'll be fine. Okay, let's go over here. He needs to be oxygenated. Okay, come on. Okay, stay with me. Okay, stay with me.
Come on,
look at me.
Hey, it's pizza night. Nobody dies on pizza night. Come on, buddy.
Look at me. Look at me. Talk to me. Do you have any kids? How old are your kids? Hey, come on. How many kids do you have?
Okay. Ambulance is on its way, all right? We need to get him out now.
Come on. Stay with us. You're okay.
Whatever his crime was, at the end of the day, he's a human being and my hand is on his neck. And I am not gonna have somebody die in my hand, literally.
It doesn't make you feel great, doesn't make you feel bad. I treat it as it's part of my job sort of thing. If something like this happens, I just jump in and it's part of our job. You never want to see somebody suffer on the ground, but we're trained to do this, so to walk away from it, it would just be myself not doing my job sort of thing. So getting in there, getting your hands, I guess you would say dirty, in our case would be bloody. Of course wearing proper gloves and stuff like that, but yeah, the rewarding part was probably seeing his family at outside hospital and them calling us heroes and stuff like that. But I never look at myself as a hero, look at myself as a correctional officer doing my job.
Weeks after, I had been asking, how is that guy? How is he? And they said, oh, he's at the regional hospital in KP. And I said, he lived. And they said, yeah, he did. His jugular vein let go in the emergency. And so what turned out was he was slashed in the throat by an inmate with a broken TV screen.
Une nuit de janvier, pour être exact, le 30 janvier, parce que c'est des dates qu'on dirait qu'on n'oublie pas. Sur le compte de 6 heures le matin, mon collègue m'a appelé sur les ondes radio pour que je vienne lui porter assistance dans le pavillon A. Il y avait un détenu qui avait bouché son hublot de cellule, puis il répondait pas quand on cognait à sa porte. À ce moment-là, on a ouvert la porte de cellule, puis j'avais le premier regard à l'intérieur de la cellule. J'ai aperçu un détenu pendu au plafond de la cellule, les pieds ballottaient dans le vide.
In the last 5 years, I've been involved in several serious incidents, and I think being involved in so many things and seeing so many things, that your psychological well-being definitely begins to be compromised, because we see this stuff, we respond to this stuff. We have to take care, we have to medically respond to these guys, we have to keep them safe. There's so many roles that we have to do. And if we don't get the proper follow-up care, then we fall through the cracks. And after so many incidences, you've seen enough. I've seen enough blood that I want to be. If I wanted to see lots of blood, I would have been a paramedic or a doctor.
C'est sûr que c'est des images qui vont rester gravées. C'est comme, je qualifierais ça comme une blessure. La plaie, la coupure, elle va guérir, mais la cicatrice va toujours rester. Donc à ce moment-là, je l'ai décroché. Puis en le décrochant, il m'a tombé dessus. Par la suite, on aurait eu à faire les manœuvres de réanimation pendant un certain temps.
I'm just not a person for blood. But I've seen it and I've dealt with it because your adrenaline gets going. And when you do it so much that your brain and your psychological well-being starts to deteriorate. And I see a psychologist now, and because of her, I'm doing well. And in my life, I've started experiencing the nightmares and the flashbacks and the physical symptoms and the physical attributes that go with post-traumatic stress disorder.
Le protocole exige qu'on fasse la réanimation tant et aussi longtemps que les ambulanciers ne sont pas arrivés sur place. Je me rappelle de cette nuit-là, ce matin-là. Il faisait une tempête de verglas dehors, à l'extérieur. Donc, je vous dirais que ça a pris 45 minutes, 1 heure avant que les ambulanciers arrivent. Fait que pendant tout ce temps-là, moi et mon collègue, on a effectué les manœuvres. C'est dur quand on le sait que c'est comme peine perdue parce que tu le sais qu'on dirait qu'il ne reviendra pas à la vie. Là. Le détenu, il est noir, il est bleu, il est toutes les couleurs que tu veux. Donc, c'est dur à continuer.
4G to control. Fire. 1F. Job. Fire. 1F.
Open 1F. Open 1F. 1F open! You two with me! Where's the fire, guys? Where's the fire? I got a fire on 6 1F. What's going on, Frank? All right, Chief. Open 6 1F. Open 6 1F. Go, 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 go. Get it out. Get out. Okay, cut it. Get in front of him. Catch it. Take my knife. Got him. Bring him over. Fast. Defib.
You little fucker.
You're gone.
Au début, après le premier pendu, j'avais des troubles d'insomnie. J'avais de la misère à m'endormir ou carrément, j'avais un manque de sommeil. Je dormais les lumières de la chambre allumées, puis les portes de garde-robe ouvertes. J'avais constamment l'impression d'avoir un pendu dans mon garde-robe.
That could be me. I could get PTSD. Any of us could get PTSD. And so there's almost a denial or a rejection of the person who has PTSD because that provokes in us, those without PTSD, the fear that I too could be there.
Around 10:30 was the call to the outside yard that recreation was terminated, and the first group of inmates would enter the institution. They're the ones that participated in the riot. I would say the first 100 inmates that entered the institution. Within 2 to 3 minutes, we heard a lot of yelling and screaming, and it was then that we knew that this is what we were waiting for at least 1 month. I would say around 4 o'clock in the morning, we had taken control of the inside institution with the help of our IRT teams. And it was there that we found out that there was 3 officers that were killed in the line of duty. And several other officers that were injured.
Well, there's a massive psychological toll on correctional officers. you know, it's unbelievable how quickly your day can shift. And, you know, over a course of a career, correctional officers can see numerous violent incidents. And our stress is cumulative over years of service, and eventually that weighs upon you. For a correctional officer today, you know, our PTSD rates and occupational stress injuries rates are well over 30% and well documented. We're actually, in many cases, our rates are higher than police officers, paramedics, and firefighters.
When I started my career, I started in a maximum institution. There was no mention of any post-traumatic stress at that time. It wasn't really discussed, it wasn't really mentioned. At the time, if you did have a problem, you would go see your family doctor and they would give you sleeping pills or medication, anything just to help you out, but there was no treatment for the officers. You had to basically work through that. Well, of course, it did affect me at the time. These officers that were killed, two of them were in my own squad that I worked with most of the time. They were experienced officers. They were the ones that really taught me my job.
We need all the provinces to get on board with the PTSD presumption and recognize us as first responders. When those claims go through, we are diagnosed. Treat us right away. Let's treat us right away. Let's get the person back on their feet, get them back to a bit of a normal, give them the help they need. So there's much work to be done.
From where I was in the office, I could see about 10 inmates that were all hooded up with their faces covered. They came in and they took a direct right and started going towards where the inmates carried all their sports equipment and things like that. So at that time, the safe room was the bathroom in the gym office, and they had put a little gate slide bolt on it, and that was become the safe room in case something like this ever happened. I'm going to say about 3 weeks prior to that, I was working in the gym with a partner of mine and never liked the idea, never thought it was safe. Started looking around and noticed that there's the fridge in there, measured the door frame, measured the fridge, and I said, if anything ever happens, I'm gonna put the fridge in behind the door and barricade the door.
Chair and get in there. Got the key! Coming for you, Goose, you dead beat! Stop! Stop, or I'll shoot!
We're good. We're good. They can't get in here. It's all right. We're gonna be fine. So hold. Hey, don't worry. Hey, Ann, it's gonna be fine. This will hold, okay?
Okay, oh shit.
Cut your fucking head off! Fucking rape you, man! Come on!
One of them comes in here, I'm gonna stab him right in the goddamn neck, all right?
You are fucked up! We're gonna fuck you up! Where's the fucking you fucking pig?
You got your pepper spray?
Fucking rat goose, it'll fucking kill you!
Put this right in her neck.
Get that door! Shit! Fuck you!
After they worked on the door for a little bit, they left. We sat in the bathroom in the dark. We had radios so we could hear what was going on. We still had inmates coming back to work on the door in the gym. 3 times they came back and worked on the door. They taunted with, we're gonna kill you, gonna rape you. Things like that were going on. So it was kind of a shock to me. For 3 times I had to take my spear up, stand at the door, and I was preparing myself to kill somebody. That happened 3 times, and then eventually the team was moving in towards us, and once they came into the gym, you could hear the come out of the bathroom, dragged the fridge out of the way, came out, saw all my buddies.
Après une multitude d'interventions, je suis devenu en quelque sorte un peu toxique pour mes collègues. Mes collègues me faisaient des blagues, s'amusaient à me faire des tours, mais j'étais devenu en quelque sorte un peu paranoïaque. Fait que à ce moment-là, j'étais devenu carrément une bombe à retardement. Puis personne ne savait quand est-ce que j'allais exploser.
It starts to wear you down and wear you down and wear you down to a point where you don't care about anything anymore. You don't care about yourself. You don't care about anybody. You don't want to get out of bed in the day. You don't want to go to work. You don't want to do anything. And as much as you got your family and your friends and your coworkers, you know, you've done a great job, you need to get some help and that, your depression sets in and you just don't care about anything.
It's as if you are about to have a head-on collision, seconds before a head-on collision, and your body's very pumped up. So you're activated, you're highly anxious. There's aspects of paranoia as well, the fear that harm will come to you, and you're not sure from which angle or from which quarter or who might do you wrong. And so there's a tendency towards isolation as well, which only worsens the symptoms, because an important aspect in dealing with the symptoms would be social support and connection. But when you've lost faith in humanity and your own sense of very basic safety and security, you would tend to isolate yourself, of course, which only compounds the problem.
It was during the interview with the psychologist that she determined, while talking with her and actually what I had experienced, and she started asking me certain questions that went way back 20, 25 years. And she found out. She determined that I had post-traumatic stress.
Quand la bombe a fini par exploser, je suis entré dans le bureau du syndicat. J'ai pété ma coche. En d'autres termes, j'ai pété ma coche. L'imprimante a pris un bord, le frigidaire de l'autre, l'écran de l'autre. Ça a fait un méchant bordel. À ce moment-là, il y a 2 collègues qui m'ont assis sur une chaise puis ils m'ont dit « Tu t'en vas, Marc, ça n'a plus d'allure, tu peux plus continuer comme ça. Tu vas faire mal à du monde. On a peur de ce qui va t'arriver. » Donc à ce moment-là, je suis parti puis j'en ai broyé une shot. Aux premières heures le lendemain, j'étais allé consulter. Puis j'ai trouvé un psychologue à qui j'avais confiance, puis qui était spécialisé dans les chocs stress post-traumatiques. Puis avec lui ensemble, on a décortiqué mon choc stress post-traumatique. Ça a pris 5 mois.
You're not weak because you develop the symptoms. We all susceptible. And what I often say to someone is, your reactions are a normal reaction to something that's abnormal, which really helps people to realize, okay, it's not about me, it's about what happened to me.
Any advice I give for any new officers is you're only as strong as the guy beside you.
Yeah. Good, good. Slow down, slow down, slow down. Next.
Hey, buddy. What's up?
On the wall.
Yes, sir. Whatever you say.
Feet further back.
Yeah.
Feet wider.
You got it.
Do you have any weapons?
No.
Anything sharp that can cut me?
Actually, no.
Do you have anything sharp that can cut me?
No, man, no. Let's get it on. Hey, you know, we nailed 4 screws today. You know that, right? 4 little piggies are gone. Ooh, watch the family jewels there, bud.
Next.
Enjoy your work, huh? You do really well. Where are we going? This way? Okay. Where's F?
On the wall.
I didn't like that. This one.
Do you have any weapons? Anything sharp that can cut me?
Oh, what's up, hon? Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm just go back to bed.
Some days I'm out of phase, and today's one of those days. Spinning in a slow haze, in a blacked maze, far from the sun's rays. Some